Hi guys, my name is iPhong and welcome to iTalk. This is very important because yesterday I talked about what happened after the 1st of July in Vietnam. There was a lot of updates. People who run restaurant, cafe, supermarket, arcade are not allowed to play music at the background unless they have artist permissions. And if those people who run a restaurant, cafe, supermarkets or arcade play music at the background without the artist permissions, without paying the music licensing, then they have to pay the fines. And if they don't have enough money to pay the fines, then prison to be expected. And I also mentioned about there are some Vietnamese artists inside or even outside of Vietnam make a statement that the people who run the restaurants, cafes, supermarket, arcades allowed to play their songs at the background for free. For example, rapper Phong Lê, and he also make a statement that people can play his music at the restaurant, at the cafe, at the supermarket, at the arcade, at the background for free. And once again, to rapper Phong Lê, thank you so much. And I really hope that your funny comedy skits can be the same as well. The restaurant, the cafe, they can play on the TV, on the background for anyone who come to the restaurant, to the cafe, not just they enjoy food, but also they can have some laugh as well. And I also mentioned about a restaurant and cafe not allowed to play Tom and Jerry on TV unless they have the permission from the cartoon studios as well. And I also mentioned about the law updates. 100% will hurt the arcades, which I'm going to get into detail in these videos because it's very important. And I also mentioned that the only ways for the restaurant and the cafes to have a little bit of atmosphere is just having a TV and go to these social medias on YouTube and plays funny comedy skits. Alright, they cannot play any musics unless they have permission from the artist, unless they already pay for the music licensings. And yeah, that's a lot. I really want to get into detail in these videos because there's a lot of Vietnamese restaurant in USA. They play K-pops, they play Big Bang, Blackpink, BTS, and so far today I don't see any police man complain about it. Sometimes the policemen they come to the restaurant, they want to eat, and I don't see any policeman complain about it. And not just K-pops, also US UK songs like Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez. And I don't see any policemen in USA. They come to the restaurant and complain about it. And yeah, also, this is big, alright? This is big, alright? I haven't mentioned it yesterday. Alright, this is big. I really need to mention about this. There are a lot of Vietnamese restaurants in USA. They play rap Viet, the Vietnamese version of the rappers, on TV, and nobody says a thing. Alright, and I was pretty surprised. Alright, and I don't know if there's any Vietnamese restaurant in Vietnam does that, but I see a lot a Vietnamese restaurant in USA, they actually turn off their TV and play rap Viet, the Vietnamese version of the rappers. Now, this is important. All right, this is important. All right. I would highly recommend for those who run a restaurant business in Vietnam, the same cafe business in Vietnam, supermarket business in Vietnam, orchid business in Vietnam, I would highly recommend you not do that. Unless you have permission from WorkPoint and Vion. Alright, this is important. Alright. Because, yeah, I heard that Vion is very strict and WorkPoint is originally from Thailand. Is I don't know. I think I can say the same that the restaurant, cafes, orchids, supermarkets in Vietnam, please, for your safety, alright? For your safety of your life, but also your wallet as well, because I don't want any one of you guys and girls to pay fines without knowing what happened after the 1st of July in 2026, the laws updates. If you have permission from WorkPoint or Vion, and you're allowed to play rap Viet, or even the rapper, the original Thai versions, the rappers on the restaurant and cafe, arcade, supermarkets in Vietnam, if you do have permission from WorkPoints and Vion, that is totally fine for you to play rap Viet or Thai the rappers on restaurant or in the cafe. But if you haven't had permission from WorkPoints or Vion, please don't. Alright? Don't. I know, alright? I seen the post that A4VF make statements, and I know is the Copyright Act has gone too much. Alright? But at the end of the day, the law is a law. Alright? So for now, if you had permission from WorkPoint or Vion, and you're allowed to play rap Viet at the background, at the restaurant, at the cafe, then that is totally fine. But if you haven't had permission from WorkPoints and Vion, don't. Alright? Please don't. And yeah, honestly, I mentioned earlier in these videos, if people want atmospheres in the business, then turn the TV on, and the only option is to go to these social medias and search for the comedy skits. But I think a lot of people would agree the safe things for now is to not turn the music on, not turn anything on. Make the restaurant and cafe completely silence. And I'm not gonna lie, I agree with most people. Yeah, it's not much atmosphere. It's just not making a place fun, you know. At the end of the day, people running a business just to serve food and drink, and they get money out of it, and that's it, right? The music, it's just part of the atmosphere. Even when you already pay subscription for Spotify, for YouTube Music as well, even with Crunchyroll, Netflix, and according to laws, it's just for personal use. Alright? And yeah, which reminds me, yes, I do see a lot of restaurant or in the cafe in Vietnam, they do play movies, all right, Hollywood movies, gay dramas, at the background, all right, and if you have permission, it's totally fine. But if you don't, for your safely, for your wallet safely, don't. All right. I don't think playing Tom and Jerry at the background on the restaurant in the cafe, I don't think it's safe. All right. Even Zeke and Choco, no. Augie and cockroaches, no. Unless you have permission from the film studios and you're allowed to play cartoon movies at the background inside the restaurant and the cafe in Vietnam, then if you have permission, that's totally fine. But if you don't, then refrain from doing that. All right. And yeah, which is strange because talking about Crunchyroll on Netflix, in USA, I go to anime Akibas a lot, and it's a shop that usually sells poster like this, and they even sell shirts, anime shirts as well, and I really don't know if the shop gain permission from Crunchyroll or Netflix or not, but Anime Akibas in USA, by the way, and it's in Little Tokyo, Tokyo Central, and they got the TV hang on the wall, and they played Crunchyroll playlists, the opening and the ending theme songs of a lot of animes. And honestly, I don't know. Alright, this is USA, and there are people talking about that this type of copyright acts, it's been created for a long time ago. Alright. And I don't know, like recently right now, like I feel like it's a very tough topic to talk about, because that the majority of people around the world will agree that music, movie, it's just part of the atmosphere. They running the business, they just only to sell food and sell anime merchandise, and trying to localize people, you know. So I really don't know. I really don't know. Alright. So yeah. Well, what do you guys and girls think about it? Leave the comments down below. Yeah, this is very important because I see a lot of Vietnamese restaurant in USA play rap Viet on TV at the background. So I have to let people in Vietnam knows. Alright, because I honestly don't know. I remember when I used to live in Vietnam, there's a lot of restaurants, there's a lot of cafe that play movies on their TV at the background, and I think like around the time when rap Viet, the Vietnamese version of the rappers, become so popular, and it's become a trend at playing rap Viet on TV at the background, in the restaurant, in the cafe. And now after the 1st of July 2026, the laws updates is becoming really sensitive. So I really don't know. 100% I will tell you the same. Let's refrain from playing Running Man Korea, Running Man China, Running Man Vietnam on the TV, on the restaurant, in the cafe, in the supermarket or in the arcade, if you haven't had permission from the game show studios. Alright, if you have permission from the studios, from the artists, and you're allowed to play certain game show or movies, and at the background or the restaurant or the cafe, then feel free to do so. But yeah, at the end of the day, you have to pay for the licensing, you know, not just music, but also movie licensing, but also game show licensing. Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to pay, and it not just only hurt for the restaurant or for the cafe, it's going to also hurt the arcade as well. Now, let's talk about the arcade. Alright, after the 1st of July 2026, the arcade in Vietnam. Because this is very important, and this is gonna hurt the arcade rhythm gamers, alright? Pump Me Up games, they have K-pops. Alright? And also, I'm not gonna lie though, a lot of people on the internet memeing about PopCat. Freedom Dive has to appear in as many rhythm games as possible. Alright, and Freedom Dive just made it to Pump Me Up games. And Freedom Dive is in the world music categories for Pump Me Up games as well. Now, is it safe to play Freedom Dive on Pump Me Up games on the public arcades in Vietnam? No. Are you surprised? Remember, Freedom Dive diverse system. Alright? Also, I remember XI also really strict on DMCA copyrights as well. But yeah, Freedom Dive's very iconic. Appear in BMS, very popular. But I don't know. We still haven't heard the statement from Diverse System and XI yet. But because of the loss update after the 1st of July 2026 in Vietnam, this is not gonna end well. It's going to cause limitation for arcade rhythm gamers. Not just for K-pops, but also for world music categories in Pump Me Up games. For those who play at the arcade, for those who play it in public as well. And then suddenly if the police walk by inside the supermarkets, yeah, usually the arcades inside the supermarket in Vietnam, and the police walk by and ask where the music comes from. Did the people who runs the arcade business ask for the artist permissions? And yeah, at the end of the day, just like Crunchyroll, just like Netflix, Pump Me Up games, the machine, according to laws, alright, it's just for personal use, but it's an arcade rhythm games, they put it in public, but it's just any music. It's gonna hurt the arcade rhythm gamers. It's gonna hurt. I know, it's very painful. So I really don't know, because it's gonna force more people in Vietnam, to try their best to get their own Pump Me Up games cabinet. And this is not cheap, alright, because Vietnamese people have to work extremely hard, alright, and I'm Vietnamese. I it strongly support the yellow star flags, but the constructive criticism has to be there. All right, no matter how or hard work Vietnamese people trying to work every single day, uh, it's still very hard to afford even a house, let alone a garage. Uh, and okay, they can rent a room in the condo or in the apartment, uh, but still, to get the Premier Games cabinet is not easy. All right, yes, it's expensive, but also it's not easy to access it. All right, and I don't know. I really hope the game companies like and look into what happens in Vietnam after the 1st of July, but I think it's very low chance because Puppy Up Games is a Korean arcade rhythm games, you know. And I can say the same things for dance bass or dance core because yeah, a lot of K-pops, all right. That's gonna hurt arcade rhythm gamers a lot. But also, my mind has Vocaloid. Ah, I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, what can the arcade rhythm gamers do? Because not everyone wants to play original songs from the rhythm games. They want to play as much as possible. Alright? But I know it's a low chance for the Korean game companies, for the Japanese game companies to check out what happened outside of their country, the laws, and yeah. Honestly, it's really tough. Also, yeah, not just J music, not just K-pops, Filipino songs as well. All right, Pump Up Games also have Filipino songs, like songs by Yassi Pressman, and Nadine. Like, how do arcade rhythm gamers be able to contact to the Filipinos artists? How? And also Filipinos Tagalog Vocaloid as well. How do arcade rhythm gamers be able to contact to Dasu? Alright? And not just arcade rhythm gamers, not just the guests. Alright? How can the managers, the general manager, the people who run the arcade business be able to contact Filipinos artists? Alright? Not just that, J artists, K artists. Like, that's a lot of work certain for people who run the business do. Alright? So, yeah, you see what I mean? This is the worst case scenario, alright? A lot of people would gonna comment me, oh, like, uh, I may be overthinking things, but we have to look into the worst case scenarios because I don't think the government's gonna listen to their people, their citizen constructive criticisms. Alright? They have their official social medias. They not gonna enable the comments to let everyone on the internet to give constructive criticisms. Alright? So yeah, the Copyright Act has gone too far, but I want to hear both sides of the story. Alright, I want to know your thoughts Leave the comments down below. If you feel like I'm overthinking things, then yeah, feel free to say so. And try to explain like what is going on in Vietnam, because I am not currently in Vietnam. I'm in USA. I'm just saying that my experience, that hey, I seen a lot of Vietnamese restaurant that in USA play K-pops, play US UK, play rap Viet on TV at the background, movies, Hollywood movies, Netflix, Crunchyroll on TV at the background, and no policeman say anything. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what is going on in Vietnam right now. What is going on to the people who run run the restaurant, cafes, supermarkets, and orchids. Like, what can you do in this situation? What can you do in this situation if you run a business in Vietnam and you want music, you want movie, you want game show to be played on the TV at the background, but you don't have enough money to afford the music, movies, game show licensings, and it's even like hard to even contact to the studios, game show studios like work points or like TV studios like Vion and yeah, I don't know. All right, and so yeah, what do you guys encourage things? Leave the comments down below. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you enjoy these videos. Give these videos a likes if you enjoy these videos. If you're new to these channels, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!